Hello, my friend. Welcome to Encouraging Words from the Cloffice. I want to share some encouraging words with you today. Um, I've recently been reading through the book of Job the last few days, and of course, you're familiar with the Old Testament character of Job. He faces trials that are just huge. God permits him to go through some waters that are just amazing, very difficult experience, and God permits those. And Job is being used as an illustration of both integrity and righteousness, and he maintains his integrity and his righteousness, but he's going through just deep, deep, difficult trials. And of course, his friends come along and are not much help or encouragement to him. But as Job is wrestling through the situation and dealing with this difficult trial that he's going through, in Job chapter 21, he runs through a logical argument where he looks at people around him, his neighbors who don't care for God, they don't care to worship God, they're living self-directed lives, but they're very prosperous. Their kids are flourishing. Their bank accounts are flourishing. They don't seem to be having the troubles that are common to other people. They just seem to be rising above it all. And he's looking at his neighbors who don't care for the Lord, and he's wrestling through this deeper problem along the lines of he has sought to honor the Lord. He's lived with his integrity. He has been a righteous man. He's been concerned about not only his own godliness, but the godliness of his children. And he's just lived a great life, but he is going through deep, deep waters. And he's perplexed by the fact that the wicked often prosper. And as I'm reading that, I hadn't picked up on that before, but it made me think immediately of Psalm 73. Because in Psalm 73, the worship leader in Israel, Asaph, he deals with the same problem. He looks at his neighbors, and they're like, these people are flourishing. They don't care about God. They don't go down to the temple. They're not godly people. Yet their kids flourish. They're flourishing. Everything they touch seems to turn to gold. Their lives are just phenomenal. And he's looking at his own life, and like Job, on a different level, he's going through challenges and trials and difficulties and hard times, and he's trying to make sense of it all. But he doesn't make sense of it all until he goes to church, until he goes to the temple, and he remembers God, and he remembers who he has in God. And at the end of his psalm, after wrestling through this, the prosperity of the wicked and his own challenges and his own trials, he comes to a landing place, and that landing place is rock solid ground. This is what he says at the end of Psalm 73. He says, "Nevertheless, I am continually with you. You hold my right hand." He's going through difficult trials, but God is holding his hand. Tremendous comfort for him. "But nevertheless, I'm continually with you. You hold my right hand. You guide me with your counsel, and afterwards you will receive me to glory. Whom have I in heaven but you? And there's nothing on earth that I desire beside you. My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever." He's like, I'm going through a difficult time. I'm going through deep waters, and it's very hard. And for a while, I've been looking at other people, and their life just seems to go exceptionally well, and they don't even care about God. And here I am trying to live a life of integrity and trying to live before the Lord and honor him. But now I'm remembering that God, you're holding me by my right hand. You're walking through this trial with me. You're working for my good. And when this is all over, I will be with you in glory. And whom do I have in heaven but you? You are my delight. He goes on and he says, "For behold, those who are far from you shall perish." Asaph's not going to perish. Job is not going to perish. Job says, "I know my Redeemer lives, and in the end, he'll stand upon the earth, and I will see him with my own eyes." Job is not going to perish. He has trusted in God, and he's been joined to God by faith. And same with Asaph. "For behold, those who are far from you shall perish. You put an end to everyone who is unfaithful to you. But for me, it is good to be near God. I have made the Lord God my refuge, that I may tell of all your works." You know, I've been encouraged by my reading through the book of Job, but it made me think this morning of Psalm 73. Two biblical men of high integrity, of great faith, who wrestled with the prosperity of the wicked when they were going through their own difficulties and their own trials, but they both landed on, God is my delight and God is my glory. And when this is all over, I will not be separated from him. He's my rock, he's my refuge, he's my high tower. He's the one who guides me and will lead me unto glory. Boy, that's my confidence. I trust that's yours as well. We're going through a time that's more of an inconvenience right now than a real trial, even though there's been a variety of trials we've all gone through on different levels. but we can have confidence that God is for us, working for our good even at the present. Thank you for spending a couple moments with me today. Trust you're doing well. We'll keep you in prayer and look forward to seeing you soon. God bless.